Hello and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we're playing Dragon's Dogma 2 and we're doing another top 10 video. This time it's for the Mage Staves, so staffs specifically suited for the Mage vocation in this game. Before we dive into the ranking video, and get to the meat of what we're going to be talking about today, I just want to say, please, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. It costs nothing and it's super convenient, especially if you're a return viewer. If you like Dragon's Dogma, that's a great reason to stick around because I'll be producing plenty of content for this game in days to come. So, if you haven't already subscribed, please do so now, as I am trying to get to the 100,000 subscriber mark. But with all that being said, let's dive into the ranking. And a few things to keep in mind for this ranking. One, this ranking is based on stats, so although I will talk about appearance, it does not actually affect the ranking if I like the way they look better. And the stats that you're going to see on screen, it's important to consider that they will reflect my player's level, so I will not be discussing that. I will only be discussing the stats of the staffs themselves, and these staffs are all upgraded all the way. So if your stats don't match them, it's because you haven't upgraded them all the way like I did. So that being said, all of those things considered, the ranking is still very accurate, and as long as things are consistent across the board, you're comparing one weapon at level 1 or one weapon all the way upgraded to another, it will fit in this ranking. So let's dive on in and start it off with number 10. So starting us off at number 10, we have the Cast Stone, a rod affixed with an ensorcelled stone that resonates with magic, amplifying the power of any spell. As far as stats on this one go, we have 141 for strength, 335 for magic, 0 for slash strength, 100 for strike strength, and 80 for knockdown power, giving us a composite score of 131.2. So not too bad, considerably better than a lot of the other mage staffs in this game. As far as appearances go, I like the way this one looks. It's a very simple staff. I think I would like all the staffs in the game better if they were more like Lord of the Rings wizard staff level, so it's kind of like a big walking stick, as opposed to these, which are like a scepter kind of length. They're not quite long enough to actually use as a walking stick, so that throws me off a little bit. But this one does look pretty dang cool. I like its simple design and how it's got the straight shaft and then the quite a bit more ornate top to it with the stone in it. I think it looks pretty cool and definitely stat-wise works really well as a staff for the mage vocation. So that is number 10. Let's move on to number 9. At number 9, we have the Cardinal Blaze, a staff topped with a magical stone imbued with the power of flame. Its fire enchantment, never cool. As far as stats on this one go, we have 85 for strength, 401 for magic, 0 for slash strength, 100 for strike strength, and 76 for knockdown power, giving it a composite score of 132.4, making it just slightly better than the last one. This one definitely has a stereotypical fantasy type, wizard staff look to it. We've got a curled, knobbly wooden staff with a big flaming ball on top. So, especially if you're going for any type of, fire mage build, this one's probably a good choice for that, given the fact that it will help boost your fire damage, and obviously it fits the aesthetic of it very well. So that's the Cardinal Blaze at number 9. Let's move on to number 8. And at number 8, we have the Treach, an iron-wrought staff that calls forth thunderbolts, elegant of make and simple to wield. Its lightning enchantment never wanes. Stats on this one are 82 for strength, 409 for magic, 0 for slash strength, 100 for strike strength, and 75 for knockdown power, giving it a composite score of 133.2. So again, just slightly better than the last one. The appearance on this one is pretty dang standard again for what you'd consider to probably be a pretty stereotypical wizard staff. This one, of course, specializing in magic over flame for the last one. So I shouldn't say magic, lightning magic. So if you want to go for a lightning type mage, this is a better option for you because that's its base attack and also helps boost that damage. So pretty cool looking. I like this one. Looks like a flowering staff with a, shorted out circuit up on the top that's constantly causing small static shocks. Looks pretty cool. Very stereotypical. So I like the Treach. That's number 7, or that's number 8. Let's move on to number 7. So at number 7, we have one that's not quite as flashy, but is obviously stat-wise a little bit better. The Batali Scepter, a staff oft seen in Batal, fashioned in the custom of its homeland. Stats on this one are 79 for strength, 409 for magic, 0 for slash strength, 100 for strike strength, and 85 for knockdown power, giving it a composite score of 134.6. So again, just slightly above the last one. We're moving up very incrementally with these ones. The Batali Scepter, I think, looks pretty cool too. So it, like I said, doesn't have any flashing animation with particulates or anything like that coming off the top, but it does look like a regular staff. The top is more ornate and it's like cast metal in the shape of fire, but the fire kind of looks like waves of water. So it could be various different elemental aspects, So this one doesn't have as much of a built-in automatic, go-to thing as the last two we looked at, but it is an excellent staff stat-wise, and I still think does look pretty cool. So that's the Batali Scepter, which takes the number 7 spot. Let's move on to number 6. And at number 6, we have the Solar Numen, a staff that silently radiates energy, imbued with the fear and awe felt by ancient peoples when witnessing the moon eclipse the sun. Stats on this one are 97 for strength, 436 for magic, 0 for slash strength, 100 for strike strength, and 94 for knockdown power, giving a composite score of 145.4. So the biggest stat jump we've had from one to the next so far on this list. So the Solar Numen is a pretty dang good staff. I rocked this one for a while in my playthrough. It obviously, we talked about the whole moon eclipsing the sun thing, so this one fits into that kind of moon mage type vibe if that's what you're going for. I think appearance wise it's kind of more towards the fancy regal side of it, because we've got like a butt plate down on the bottom, and then we've got a fancy ornate top. It all looks like it's silver with some gold accents, so overall probably a pretty fancy looking, one of the most fancy staffs that you can get in the game. So that's the Solar Numen, great stats, pretty cool looking, and that one takes the number 6 spot. Let's move on to number 5. And number 5, we're back to looking flashy and fancy. We have the Volent White, a staff hewn from blessed wood. Its gentle radiance eases woes and lights one's rightful path. Its holy enchantment is unfailing. So for Volent White, we have stats of 146 for strength, 536 for magic, 0 for slash strength, 100 for strike strength, 99 for knockdown power, giving it a composite score of 176.2. So we're following that trend of a nice big jump from the last staff to this one. So this one is significantly more powerful. As far as appearances on this one go, and I guess just general stuff, I like that it's made from wood again. That gives it kind of an elven mage vibe. So if that's what you're going for, I think this is a good option. And appearance wise, I think the top looks a little weird, I guess, because it's like an upside down fork, kind of like a ladle. But it is glowing and fancy and has big, yellowish looking holy flames coming off it. So if you're going for the holy mage type vibe, this one's probably a pretty good one. Fits with the whole themes of healing and such, which mages are very important for in this game. So that's Volent White at number 5. Let's move on to number 4. And number 4, we have Necrotic Shriek, a staff of sinister aspect. Some say the skull at its crown belonged to a priest who met with an unnatural death. Bears the power to inflict silence. Stats on this one are 142 for strength, 589 for magic, 0 for slash strength, 100 for strike strength, and 105 for knockdown power, giving it a composite score of 187.2. So another healthy jump above the last. This one's definitely a little bit more edgelordy for a mage. We have a skull on the top, which definitely gives it more of a dark vibe, and the rest of it looks pretty cool with like twisted root looking accents all over it. So I quite like the way this one looks. I think it's pretty cool, and it's obviously quite good stat wise. So that's the Necrotic Shriek at number 4. At number 3, we have Goblin Bane, a staff topped by carvings of forest-dwelling goblins, especially effective against any foe of their kind. The stats for this one are 424 for strength, 360 for magic, 0 for slash strength, 100 for strike strength, and 131 for knockdown power, giving it a composite score of 203. So the first one to break 200. This one's quite good. I used this one for probably the longest while I was playing as a mage, because once I got it, I quickly realized it was really good. Stat-wise, that is. Appearance-wise, it's one of the ugliest, blandest looking one, which makes sense considering it's Goblin Bane. But it just kind of looks like a stick with some stuff tied to the end of it and a goblin head totem on top. So not very cool looking, but obviously stat-wise quite good. So that's Goblin Bane at number 3. Our runner-up at number 2 is Legion's Might, a staff crowned with a small piece of an Arisen's heart. Pawns who equip it revive of their own accord when rendered immobile. This one has stats of 221 for strength, 608 for magic, 0 for slash strength, 100 for strike strength, and 134 for knockdown power, giving it a composite score of 212.6. So another healthy step above the last one. As far as appearances on this one go, it's pretty cool looking. It kind of reminds me of Gandalf's staff from Lord of the Rings, being pretty much straight, but having a big knobbly, natural looking wood top. And then of course we have the part of the Arisen's heart on there, which plays into the lore of the game to make it what you would probably consider a pretty powerful weapon. And obviously the ability that it will help pawns revive themselves when they're rendered immobile if you equip it for them. It makes it a particularly good thing to give to your pawn that is serving you as a mage. So Legion's Might's an excellent weapon. Stats are great and perks are pretty great on it, and it looks pretty cool. So Legion's Might takes the number 2 spot. Finally, at number 1, we have Dragon's Noose, or Nouse, I'm not sure how you pronounce that. A staff worthy of its namesake, filled near to bursting with the dragon's power. Its magics mingle with the wielders and heighten them beyond belief. Stats on this one are 550 for strength, 636 for magic, 0 for slash strength, strength, 100 for strike strength, and 120 for knockdown power, giving it a composite score of 281.2, and making it by far the most powerful mage staff that you can get in the entire game. This one, I can tell you, you can purchase it using worm life crystals from the Dragon Forged after the end game, or in the end game period, and then in New Game Plus. So that's where you can get this one. As far as appearances on this, it's obviously pretty cool. It's got like a twisted red base that goes up to 4 dragon heads at the top. I like the way it looks, and obviously stat-wise, just phenomenally good. It's by far the best mage staff in the entire game. So that is our #1 spot, and that is the entire ranking. So I hope you enjoyed this video, found it useful or entertaining or something along those lines. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you like this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.